On the 25th of September 2019, a lowly YouTuber by the name of Addict began a journey in a beautiful game called The Sims 3 to create a sim who was the ultimate in all things, the Super Sim. And the subject of this challenge, a version of herself, a clumsy, dog-loving, dramatic, hopeless romantic virtuoso with nothing to lose in the world of The Sims 3 to conquer. Starting off in humble beginnings in this lowly starter house on Legacy Island 3 when everybody's favourite dork in a lava costume arrived at her door, Beth Simmy filled in a very difficult test to begin a fine arts degree in the university with very little aptitude and no skills, but who needs any of that anyway, in the beautiful Sims State University. And so began episode 2 of our journey, and Beth Simmy moved into her first dorm with so many new friends to make, and then picked out her dorm room with the most beautiful bed of all the beds in the university. Then Beth began her new fitness regime of running absolutely everywhere in the world to attend the university welcome event, where she took some photos to, remember the moment, and made a spectacle of herself by beginning to learn the guitar in front of everyone with absolutely no previous practice. No wonder nobody wanted to play foosball with her after such an embarrassing display. Luckily, Beth had still received an invitation to a party that night, so she stole a bike, rode her way there, and upon arrival was dared to woohoo with a random sim. Quite the difficult first dare ever, if you ask me. So after saying hello to our party hostess, who sadly did not share our enthusiasm for dogs, rude, we began trying to woo this guy, Anuki Moon, one of our roommates, who sadly for Beth Sim was not incredibly keen on romance or anything of that nature. Awkward! The next day, however, dawned bright and beautiful as Beth made her way to her first class, and we stared at a door. Following which, Beth took up her new sketching hobby outside on the lovely, lovely lawn before heading to her next class, where we once again stared at a door. After class, it was rather late and Beth was rather hungry, so we picked some random plants for a quick snack before heading home for dinner with our roommate and went to bed for the day. Another beautiful morning and another very talented and beautiful sketch later, Beth headed to her first interactive lecture of the semester, where she scratched her head and took some notes, went back home and began learning the piano, another musical artistic skill which luckily we discovered gained her some class performance. And so Beth quickly settled into a wonderful routine of running off to class, where we stared at buildings, and then Beth would come out and do some sketching next to the university's very beautiful statues. Thus, it did not take long at all before Beth passed her first exam with some flying colours. But one thing was missing from Beth Simmy's life, and that was friendship, social interaction, and maybe a certain special someone. Jeffrey Dean was a high-ranking, good-looking rebel nerd, just my type, so we got to know each other and grouped up for a romantic run through the university all the way to the grotto, where we got to know each other a little and then played a rousing game of pool together. What fun. The next morning started as many mornings do in the university, with a fire in the kitchen, so Beth Simmy decided to tap out and take a day job to find 2 coffee beans and turn them into the university. So as any smart sim would do, she simply went to the grocery store and bought 2 coffee beans for 28 simoleons, took those coffee beans to the university, received a party invitation from Jeffrey, and received a paycheck of 500 simoleons. Nice one, Beth. In true university style, the party was in our swimwear for no particular reason, but it did mean we got to see how ripped our new romantic interest Jeffrey is, so we laid some charm and flirted a little. And then we had a dare to protest about something, so we got up on our soapbox and yelled at the corner in a random room about politics and all things that make us mad. We spent the next morning peacefully playing the piano until another party invitation from Jeffrey came our way, so after spending some time that day getting to know our roommates, for influence, Beth Simmy hopped on her little bike and pedalled her way back over to the fraternity house, where, while talking to Jeffrey, a rather fortuitous party dare came our way to make out with another sim. So after checking that Jeffrey, wasn't married or anything, we went for the kiss, and one thing quickly led to another. $100 simoleons for kissing a man we're interested in. Not a bad deal. And so began episode 4 with Beth Simi full of university cheer. Volgerbits. It was week 2 of university now, and we spent some time playing pool, receiving party invitations almost daily from Jeffrey, who is apparently somewhat of a party animal, and we decided to also apply for extra funds from the university to see if our good grades could get us paid, and well, we were right. 5,000 simoleons. Ka-ching. Thank you very much. It was a week of avoiding the supernatural community in the university, who had slowly begun to reveal themselves and were really making themselves known, doing sketches, attending university lectures, kitchen fires at our dorm lot, which we pretty much ignored, and then we received a dare to imply that somebody's mother was a llama, so we met this Sandy lady and, well, got off on a bad foot with her. We played more pool, we went to more parties and played more pool, trying to complete a dare to win 3 games, which turned out to be absolutely impossible. And on a fiery Thursday morning at the dorm lot, Beth Simi got out the shower to receive her first report card from the university. With a mark of straight A's, we were off on a fabulous start in the journey to complete our first university degree. So with now not much to do on this random Thursday, Beth Simi decided to hit the town and collect some random plants that she found out the back of the coffee shop, received an invitation to Jeffrey's upcoming juice kegger. Of course we will be there, my darling. We hit a dumpster for some extra rebel influence and decided to cash in some of our lifetime reward points for our first extra trait. We unlocked Steel Bladder, so now Beth Simi never has to go to the toilet again in her life. Nice. At Jeffrey's party, we received yet another dare to imply that someone's mother was a llama, but while we were distracted doing juice kegger stands with Jeffrey, the university very rudely decided to kick us off campus and send us home before we could complete our dare. I guess we'll just have to complete that dare when we come back to university for our next semester and ride our push bike some more. And so began episode 5 of our Super Sim series, with Beth Simi wasting no time at all in re-enrolling at university with a quick phone call. If only it was that easy. We picked a new dorm, we met our new dorm mates, and unfortunately this poor guy Matthew Taylor, who thought we were rather attractive, was the brunt of our dare, finally fulfilling our quest to imply that someone else's mother was indeed a llama. How rude. But as fun as it was getting to know our dormmates, there was only one person we really wanted to see, our dear Jeffrey, who arrived still dressed in his very fancy party jacket from last episode. We said hello with a romantic hug and invited him out on a very fun bowling date where Beth Simi showed off her mad bowling skills, and then we decided to ask Jeffrey to officially become our boyfriend. How romantic. Luckily he said yes, and we celebrated by going out for burgers with our nemesis Sandy, standing guard out the front of the restaurant. Very creepy. And so the semester was underway, with Beth Simi practicing the guitar to increase her class performance, occasionally actually going to class and putting in somewhat of an effort, and of course keeping up her appearances at Bay's parties, where our nemesis Sandy was trying to make a move on Jeffrey one night, so naturally we took that cow outside and berated her ignorance. Take that, Sandy. Before heading back inside to do a keg stand with Jeffrey in front of Sandy to attempt to assert our dominance, only to have Jeffrey drop us flat on the floor. Thanks a lot for that one, honey. And the week continued on with more kitchen fires, which apparently almost killed some of our dorm mates on this particular day. We continued to work on our influence by using this weird giant science machine thing, going bowling and getting to know people like Billie Jean Sparks, who was level 10 in her particular social influence group of the nerd community. And of course we attended more parties, received more dares like this one to get into a fight with someone, so we decided to antagonize this very creepy vampire man who probably could have killed us, but in the end we made peace with him. Then we received another dare to make out with someone, so luckily Jeffrey was around and available, and by the end of the night we had a social standing of a level 6 jock, a level 5 rebel, and a level 3 nerd. So what happened next in the Super Sim series? Well, my friends, unfortunately this is where I lost confidence in the appeal of the Sims 3 Super Sim series and ceased to upload it to my channel, despite having another full episode recorded, edited, and ready for release. But over 2 years has passed since then, and suddenly I am feeling very enthusiastic and inspired to play the Sims 3 Super Sim series once more. The lost episode 6 I could have uploaded for you all to watch, however the quality of it is quite horrendous, so I thought instead I might just continue my recap and show you what you missed in episode 6 before we all jump back into live gameplay again together very soon. Episode 6 began with Beth Simi cooking pancakes for everybody in the dorm, and while she burnt them, she at least did not set the kitchen on fire. We decided to once again apply for extra funds from the university and received a cool 5,000 simoleons for being such a nerd. But we were also still quite the party animal, and our good jock friend Ashley Di Sorrento kept inviting us to her ping pong juice kegger whatever it was parties, where we kept being dared to imply people's mothers were llamas, and luckily Sandy happened to be around pretty much every time we needed to complete such a dare. Poor llama mother Sandy. But we weren't pissing off every sim we knew. We were still friends with our creepy vampire man, and were really starting to get to know quite a few sims in and around the university, and climbing the social ladder ranks through making a lot of friends. Partway through the week, we received an opportunity to deliver a painting of great value to France. Evidently, our artistic genius was beginning to become widespread famous, so we accepted this opportunity for after we had graduated from our year at college. And graduation was looming ever closer, with Beth Simi continuing the grind of classes, making friends and climbing social ladders until we unlocked the opportunity to choose an extra trait through our high-ranking jock status. So, in honor of all of the friends we had made, we chose the friendly trait for Beth Simi, which was all well and good until it came time to insult Sandy again, and now all of a sudden it wasn't quite as fun because we are now a friendly sim. Oh. Beth was also starting to really climb up the rebel ranks with her talent for tagging random walls. And before we knew it, Friday was upon us, final exam day. Beth Simi went into her exams full of confidence, taking each one very easily and passing each one with flying colours. And after acing our semester, we decided to tag the ground with our mark to let everyone know that we were here. And of course, afterwards, it was time to head off to yet another party thrown by our great friend Ashley, where we got to know this lovely fairy sim as well, and tagged this sorority house wall so that they would never forget that they were friends with us, Beth Simi, the most high-ranking, rebellious jock they'd ever seen. Before the party and the university year were over, we did decide to do one final celebratory thing and take our relationship with Jeffrey to the next level with a cheeky woohoo upstairs in the sorority house. The next morning was the moment of truth for Beth Simi, as her report card was delivered and she looked at it with some trepidation, but of course we knew that our fine arts degree had been aced. Fully complete GPA of A, we had nailed it, and now it was graduation day, so we spent the morning painting, working on that skill before heading off to the ceremony at the sports arena. It was a great time watching the door waiting for her to come back out, and when she did, we had the opportunity to choose another trait, so we rewarded Beth Simi with artistic. As she had completed a fine arts degree, I figured that made the most sense. And out she came, tossed her diploma, and off she went, of course, naturally, to a final party for the university year. And at that party, we had a lovely time hanging out with our friend Sophie, who was a level 10 nerd herself and was helping us along our way to achieve peak nerdism in the nerd social group. After that, we went out the back to the bonfire because for once it wasn't raining, and we had the opportunity to throw some experimental stinky test tubes and add extra wood, and generally have a wonderful time saying goodbye to our university friends before the uni told us to very nicely get our butts off their property and pack our bags to head home. So my friends, that brings you up to date. That is everything that you have missed in the Sims 3 Super Sim series so far. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and are excited to see this series return. I am very excited to have this series come back, and I would love it if you could drop me a like to let me know that you're excited to see this one. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop me a comment to let me know what you're most excited to see out of a Sims 3 Super Sim series. That's all for me today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye for now.